All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm just going out to the kitchen garden, behind the kitchen garden actually, where the mint has gone loony. It has really taken over here. This is all peppermint on this side. So pretty much everything you see here and beyond there, it's peppermint. These dead stalks are the flower stalks from last year. I never got around because of all the rain, which is also why all this is here. And it's actually coming out into the pasture here. So I'm gonna have to control it at some point, although, I kinda like it. I use it a lot, so a big patch like this is not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I got out of breath, I'm sorry. It's trudging through all of this. It has rained so much, the ground is kind of mucky. We don't have mud here because it's sand. So you don't get muddy, but your feet do sink in it. And I'd already pulled up some, I guess you can see on top or some pieces, but I'm going to be harvesting some here today to go inside, and we're going to make some mint oil for use in some wonderful new products. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. All right. And basically, I can't do this with two hands, but basically all I do is go in and snip stalks like so and put them in the basket. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to harvest up a bunch of this, and then we'll go inside and get to processing it. Sound like fun? I think so too. Here we go. So I've got a pretty good sized basket full here, and the guineas are real curious about what I'm doing over here. And they're picking flowers. That good stuff, guys? Okay, so we've got our mint. Let's head on inside. You ought to know, haven't I told you so 1,000,000 or more times that you were meant, M-I-N-T, for me? mint. There we go. Just to keep things from falling down in there. Okay, good. That was a suggestion of one of my subscribers. And I just want to say thank you. All right. We're all crispy now. Okay, that's wonderful. Now we get to have fun. What's fun? Well, I'll show you. So I'm going to get these all emptied out first. Rosie, what are you doing up there? You silly kitty. You're a silly kitty. What are you doing up there? Goober, come on down. Oh, hi, Rose. What are you doing? What are you doing, you silly girl? Hi, baby. Oh, I'm trying to reach you. Hi. What are you doing? Huh? Silly girl. What are you doing up there? Don't fall. What are you doing? Cat in the tree, cat in the tree. Life is better with the cat in the tree. Cat in the tree. You gotta get down. I'm not calling the community fire department for this. You silly kitty cat. Rose, come over here. Come on. Come on. Come on down, you silly girl. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just my good girl. Yeah. Okay. You clown cat. Come on down. What are you doing? You're funny. You're a funny girl. So, what's the fun part? For me? It's reducing it. And this is whether making it for tea, for putting, for putting in tea bags or loose tea. And I love peppermint tea. But that's not what this is going to be. Or this batch anyway. As you saw, there's a lot of peppermint out there. And peppermint, spearmint, I've got lemon balm, several different in that family. And all of them have their own uses. All right, so most of it. There are a few pieces here that are a little tougher, that might have some stem in them, but most of this is ready to go. So for this, I'm just going to use a small jar here for this example. And what this is going to do, first of all, we're going to have an infused smell or scent from the mint, but it's also going to lend color, which is going to be wonderful for the soap that I'm about to make. Sorry, I had to find a lid. I'm going to have to relabel that, but I'm just going to set this aside. And then with the rest of this here, I'll be making some tea, and also I'm going to be tincturing a little bit of it. Now, why would I tincture mint? Well, a mint tincture, for me, is tremendous when my tummy is upset. Just a few drops of the tincture in like tea or coffee or anything like that, or you can just drink your peppermint tea, or there are a lot of different ways you can get it, but I like to tincture it and keep some of that on hand. So that's going to be the next thing I'm going to do here, is mix up a bit of a tincture. In this instance, this one, because this is just for my own use, matter of fact, let me get a little funnel here. Now, where in a lot of tinctures I use a high alcohol content, like Everclear or something, which is 190 proof, that's not necessary for peppermint. It's great for things that have resins in them that need to be dissolved to get the finer constituents out, but for something like peppermint, that's not really necessary. Simple vodka does the trick just fine. Now, one of the great things about something like a mint tincture is that this can be used in about 72 hours. It doesn't take very long for the constituents to be released into the alcohol. So we have our oil infusion here and tincture here. And the rest of this I'm going to keep for loose tea. There we go. Now, one of the things you may or may not know about mint is that the stems have very little of the oil in them. Most all of the essential oil from the peppermint is in the actual leaves themselves, not in the roots or not in the stems. So it's kind of a waste of space to have a bunch of stems in it. You do get the flavor, but if you want the benefit of the actual natural oils from the mint, then you're better off removing any stems. Just for if you're looking for a high concentration of the actual mint. All right. And there we have our tea. Safely packed away for the next cup. I hope you enjoyed this. In the next video, I'm going to be putting together a soap with a mint infusion, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. I had a lot of fun making this and sharing this with you. Well, I actually didn't make anything. That's one of the wonderful things about this sort of thing. You can take one product and make multiple things from it. And I think that is just so enjoyable. What a wonderful thing that you can take one product and have an oil infusion for soaps or for creams, wonderful lotions, by the way. Always use dried, by the way. Why wouldn't you use fresh? And I've seen other videos of people using it. For some things, it is fine. If you're using it in soap, the water content from those wet, fresh leaves is not going to harm it much. You may have to make a minor adjustment to your water, to your liquid in your soaps, but it's not going to harm anything. But if you're using it in a lotion, if you're using it in salves, if you're using it in anything else, keep in mind you're adding water. When you add water, you're potentially adding bacteria and a lot of other things, foul growth such as mold, and we don't want those in those products. So adding water means that you would also have to add a preservative. Not that I think that there's necessarily anything wrong with preservatives, but wherever possible, why not avoid them, right? And so if you're not adding water to it, you don't have to worry about it. So dry your herbs. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you have a terrific day. I had a lot of fun visiting with you. I look forward to seeing you all back soon. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.